What is going on, guys? Haven't uploaded in a while, but I am back with some videos, and this first one is going to be some vinyl finds of all kinds that I've picked up recently. Things have been open, Australia's open, Melbourne, it's much better. And I can record hunt, don't have to buy online, which I don't like doing unless I have to. And I had to with some dolly stuff, which that will get its own video because I've just picked up way too much, and that's just going to be a recap of records I bought last year, because I bought a ton of them last year, a few this year, but I might as well just lump them all in that video. So, got some really good pickups here, great to start off after being in isolation. So begin here with a couple really hot Mofi releases. This one is Alison Krauss and Union Station, So Long, So Wrong. This is Mofi's 2004 release. Came out in 2004 and the album came out in 97. There's the number for it, which it's a pretty high, it's really late in the run. Get out of the disc for you, but I got this at a audiophile shop that's down the road from where I live, and it's also where I got my new record player up there, which I'll show you, sitting up there. It's a really good record player. They had this in the A section, as they would, but the thing is, this has never been in print since. People wanted in print, but for some reason they got this stuck in. I don't know how they got this one in, but they did, and I pretty much grabbed it instantly. And it's direct from the tapes. I put the needle down on this thing, and it's just amazing. Show you one. It's a 2-disc set, but I'll show you one because the labels both look the same. So you get your usual Mofi advertisement here, which some of the stuff looks a little later, so I have to see if they were doing some of this in 2004, but 5. That's what you get, and then open it up. Here you get some more products, SACDs, which I guarantee are really good, but I don't really bother with SACDs. And you get your lyrics, which I thought would be on 2 separate sheets, but they're actually not. They're just all... I don't think this opens. Doesn't seem like it opens, it's just thick paper. So there's the first side. You can see that. And the other. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Maybe not. But it's basically all the lyrics, all the usual stuff here with how the record was made. And then the disc, which they both share the same label. So like I said, I'll just take one out just to show you. So it comes in usual Mofi sleeve. This is what it looks like. The old white label, now they're using a different one. It's 3 songs each side, and it just sounds... I have, this is, other than, because I haven't dealt with Mofi other than with that Foreigner self-titled that I bought many months ago. This one's the first, another Mofi I bought. First Mofi I bought in a while. really big. There's so much stuff it packs out there. Try and get in here right, but it's a very things are packed right in. If you can find one, I recommend you pick it up, but they're pricey, like all the Mofi stuff. But I'm wondering how many people are after this compared to some of the other stuff they put out. So maybe it's a little easier to get. Who knows? But I found that. Another one that my other Mofi that I got at the same time is this one. Saw they had a few on the website, so I ran down there and got it because I wanted this great album. I have an original Australian, which sounds alright. Got it for $5, but this just blew me away. My dad's friend has one of these. I put it on in his amazing setup, and mate, this just blew me away. It sounds really good. Great album. They made this in 2013, and then they did the late last year, or it came out early this year, the One Step. So that's supposedly a lot better. Some people better than this one, but I'd say if you want the 30 free, you don't want to pick up every 3 songs or 2, just get this. And the One Step will sound amazing, I know that, but it's just not going to be, especially the price. Especially in Australia, they're over $300. So if you can get, but ironically, this is creeping up to that price of the One Step. They're selling for a lot. So here's the label, the older label. Let me just spin it around here. So the label, what they use now is this one. So that's the label they use now, unlike on that Alison Krauss. And it's got the usual track running order. It's thick, heavy disc from RTI. Cover is heavy. I'm really liking this one. Same as the Alison one. I've been mixed on these because I've heard a few Mofis, mainly the 80s issues, and I just found them to be just terrible with that smiley face EQ. So now it's all regular releases here on out, so no audiophile. Those are the only 2 if you're looking for any audiophile stuff. Those are the only 2. Next is Dookie. 1984, Green Day's Dookie. Got the hype sticker on the back. This is the 2009 Sound Matters pressing that Kevin Gray did. Some people say it's terrible, some say it's amazing. I say it's great. It's not amazing because what Kevin Gray got as the source is what he had to work with. There's only so much you can do. But it sounds great. Really good. If it was more than retail, which this was around $40, like if this was $70, 60, 50, I'd be like, yeah, for the price, it's not good. But these are gone for 40, which is decent, which is pretty good for a single. And no, it doesn't have Ernie on there like the originals do, but it sounds great. It's got the original Reprise label. It's pressed by Optimal, so there you go. Gloss paper sleeves, which is not Optimal's fault. That's an option that the labels tell them to put in. It has the pictures here from the album, of course. Great album. I had American Idiot, and then this is the second one I had, which as a pirated copy. But I made up for it. I spent $40 on a record, so I get the money from it now. I love Green Day. Hopefully 21st Century Breakdown is the next one I'm looking for, and I think maybe Revolution Radio. But this one at the moment is one of the couple that I wanted. So just look, Kevin Gray and the Dead Wax. There is one on, well, they call it Dookie Brown vinyl, so I think that uses the same plates. I'm not 100%. I'll have to check on Discogs. But just look for KG, and then Cersei does it. And he does a great job. He did the Red Hot Chili Peppers Stadium Arcadium with Steve Hoffman. And that thing blew me away. And everyone that's listened to it loves it. I recommend his stuff. Anything he's done, do it. But he does do analog as well. He does do digital as well as analog, so that's the one thing keep an eye out on. Just see if it's made sure done by if it's done using the analog tape, it's usually gonna be great. So got here Gypsy Kings, self-titled. I think that's what it is. It's self-titled. Yeah, self-titled. From 1987, I believe. No, 1988. So this was very late in the vinyl game, but they did release it on vinyl. It's a great album. My grandpa used to play the heck out of this. I do have an interesting music taste, but these guys are really good. Chill, relaxing music I put on the background, and I love even just sitting down listening to it. It's great music. I find it's always good listen. Here's the record here. It's got their label, Prem. This is the Australian, the CBS. I think a couple of my favorites my go-to is definitely, now I might not pronounce this right, so sorry in advance. Where is it? Boboleno, and you got one of my other ones inside too. Mia Moore. That one's a good one. Mia Moore. And a great cover. There's a cover, My Way. Great cover of My Way. Really good cover of that. Those aren't relatively pricey. That one was cheap. $10. Great condition. It looked like it was barely played. Here, The Man in Black, Johnny Cash. And this is Johnny Cash sings The Ballads of the True West. There is another one called Mean as Hell, which basically just takes this album and puts it onto a one disc album instead, which I wouldn't recommend. It's a good cover though. It's called Mean as Hell, and it's him on there with a western. But if you want to get the full, get this one. Double set for this cover. In the back. This is I'd label this under a concept album. This one's an Australian pressing too, so it's going to look a lot different to America. It's got here, and also just stories about how this album came to be and the stories he's got in it. But it's a concept album that he did. Because really, album-wise, I like a lot of his songs, but some of his albums I find they have a few good songs, but then it's got a lot of filler stuff I don't care for. Like Elvis is the same. It's got lots of filler. And this one does have a bit of a split here. That's why I got this cheap off. This was a Discogs order. So I got this cheap, but it was Australian. This thing is this too. Let's see what it looks like, our CBS label. Go to some Discogs because I've seen, I forget the channel's name because that's where I got the inspiration to buy this. But he did a video, it was called Country. It was basically, I think it was getting started with country, or getting into country, albums to get into country. And he featured all these different artists telling you what albums to get into, and that's where I got inspiration to listen to this. And first on Spotify and then buying this album because I loved it. And it's fucking straight. It's just mint condition, every disc. This thing barely being played. $50, but I don't mind paying that for barely played vinyl from '65. And it's good that this is barely played because you don't want surface noise. There's a lot of quiet bits. There's a lot of talking. He talks in between, all these stories about it. I do recommend it. It's an album I haven't heard much people talk about. Really good album. And if you are just a CD person, they have it on CD as well. You can get it there. I have heard it. Sounds really good. It's what's on Spotify as well. So pick this up. It's even cheap. If you want to listen to a beat up copy or played copy, just to hear what it's like. Now, sharp turn into grunge. We got Nirvana's Nevermind. I don't know if I can show that picture. Maybe not, but screw it. I'm showing it anyway. I have this album, but I finally tracked down the Bernie Grundman. The ones that Back to Black used for the ORG reissue. This was pressed at Palace, uses the same stampers. The only difference is it doesn't have the ORG sticker on it. Or it's not blue. That's it. But these, so if you can track that down, it costs more, but if you get this, it's the same thing minus the sticker, and it sounds great. Really good. Micah Ingroove really, I think like some others, told us, hey, these are using the ORGs. And the reason why they're good, the main reason above anything else, other than it's pressed at Palace, and Bernie Grundman did it, it was cut from the analog tapes. All analog mixed. And there's mumblings that the tapes are there because the Universal Fire music group Fire, they're saying the tapes are there and then burnt and then it was just session tapes. It's all over. But they haven't properly done it since, and the 30th anniversary they released, which looked great. It was a great gatefold. I've seen the pictures and videos of unboxings of it. Looked great, but then they used digital. Why didn't they just use the same plates as this? I really don't get it. Just use the same plates as this because it sounds great. Now, if you want to know what I need to spot one, well, if you can open one up, in the dead wax here, I won't be able to really show you, but in the dead wax here, it will say Bernie Grundman, BG, and it might have ORG scratched out on it. Has that on it too. But one of the easy tells is up here. There's nothing below the barcode. That's an easy tell if it's sealed, as well as there's only 2 lines of sentences here. 2 lines below the 2 logos. That's the easy tell. It went in doubt though. Scan this barcode on Discogs and you will see different versions. Just check the back cover here. That's the main thing to do. I did that for a few months till I found one that JB finally had this, and ironically, they had a few of these sitting with the 30th anniversary edition, which surprisingly was easier to find here in Australia, but then harder to find in America. So I don't know. It was weird. They released And if you get that, you're set. You don't need to worry about the 30th unless you want that gatefold with the 45 of Aimless, Nameless, which is the hidden track on the CD. And then I forget what's on the other side. But there you go. You can. So you don't really need that. Recent pickup a few days ago. I tracked down a cheap copy of Queen's first album, Queen. The cover looks not as good as the UK version, or brighter, but it's an original Australian. I wasn't concerned about getting a UK for this one. And like some others, it's got the Electra. And I've got Keep Yourself Alive, Doing Alright, My Fairy King, Son and Daughter, 7 Seas of Rye. But great album. I had Queen 2, after Queen 2, minus a couple songs I just wasn't a fan of, so that's really, they did much better on their first album here. Couple greatest hits, we got Beatles, got 62 to 66. Yay, I know, nothing special, it's a common album, but I tracked down a UK, this is 1982 UK, but it's using the same stampers as the originals, and this thing just plays really good. I know Polygram option says to go with the original, but this one was relatively priced, and I think if I do find an original UK, the original first pressings that Polygram option says is amazing, this still just sounds great. And even the re-release, the current release you can buy brand new in Australia, it's like $94. But it's cut all analog from the tapes, so you can get that. Those sound good of this. But if I'm already paying that much, I'm just tempted to get this one, an original UK. That's got all the songs, a bunch of great songs that you got. Oh, goodness. It's the one thing I don't like about it. You got some track listing, but there it is. Hope my hands are blocking. You can see the track listing. Well, it's here. Really, and it's just got great songs. Just Love Me Do, Please Please Me, From Me to You, She Loves You. And you got all the way up to, it ends at Revolver with Eleanor Rigby and Yellow Submarine. Now this pressing, it comes with both the inners, but the weird thing is the apple on this, it's just the same white apple. The black background is supposed to be this red color. So I don't know if it's an issue or not, but that's what stands out differently, because all the others are using that red. Same with the blue. When you have the blue like that, it's got that blue background. Ow, that in later. Messing around with putting that back in. And last, we have the Dixie Chicks. Oh, I mean the Chicks. The Chicks. I just still call them Dixie Chicks, because to me that the Chicks is generic. But yeah, Dixie Chicks, their greatest hits, Essential, finally came out on vinyl. For years, their albums have been out on vinyl, but not the greatest, the hit Essential, which is Sony Legacy's greatest hit series they've been doing for years, which is really good. I have got Johnny Cash one, it's just really good. Got all the songs here. I think there's some on that side. So, and it's a really good sounding compilation. It's gatefold. You got pictures here, the band, as well as the side. I'll flip it over. I'll slide too much of lot of stuff talking about them. It's really well detailed, really well packaged. I'll show you one disc here. That's what it looks like. Really thick. They got, and it's spread. It sounds really good. Most likely this is digitally sourced, but I find this is good digital source. I prefer it to be analog, yes, but at least if you're gonna do digital, at least it's done really well. Really well done. From the highest stuff possible with the best mastering. At least that. Because I don't think they'll do it with this. That's pretty much my vinyl finds. It's good hunting again. I love the hunt, so it's great. Everything's open. I've been going out. I've been seeing some cover bands, and soon I'll be seeing Stone Temple Pilots. With unfortunately, I wish the original singer was still around, but the new one's actually still good. So I'll be seeing them along with Rose Tattoo and Cheap Trick. So I'm looking forward to going to an actual concert again, because I had 2 concerts last year. 2020. Because I had saw Tool, thankfully, before lockdown, and then that same year I was going to see Iron Maiden. That was going to be a really good one, because I was looking forward to seeing them, but nah. So, tours are going to be back on. Things are getting back to normal. Hopefully they stay that way. And hopefully you guys are having good. You guys are having fun. You guys are flipping and hunting. All that fun stuff. Same with... And then I'm also with my other channel, Tiki Bird Arcade. I'm going to some locations. I'm doing some stuff again. So that channel's coming back. So yeah, I'm doing stuff there. And I'll try and see what I can do with my main channel, Haunted Tiki Bird. But I'll see. Because video game stuff, 1, there's just too many channels talking about it. And 2, I need to do some interesting stuff I want to say. But if there's nothing, I'd rather just not make shitty content. So... like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Instagram, the Vinyl Pinball Crow 98. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.